Well met, inter-nerds. Check this out. Dungeons and Dragons. Can you see that? I just picked this up at the South Mall, and I have played D&D before because I love fantasy, and I did prepare some proof for you. I do have The Hobbit here on cassette, and yes, I know I should just get the CD. It's probably even on LimeWire now, actually. That would be epic. The thing is, I have heard that most guys, most dungeon masters, just kind of make it all up, like make up the rules you're using, how the characters work, and of course the world. You all make up the world together. And I had a ton of fun doing that with my group, my dungeon master, Dan, if you happen to be watching this, man. And so I got the book so I could see what's really inside and hopefully, just share a little bit of that online too and explain how Dungeons and Dragons works. Because before I played, I thought it was like the same thing as LARPing, and I was totally wrong. So here we go. Okay, the Player's Handbook. The guy at the store said this is like the main rule book, and I think my Dungeon Master did have a different version, so the rules could be surprising anyway. And wow, yeah, this is the contents. Can you even see that? There's no way we played with this much information. So already that's tripping me up a little bit. Maybe we just start with like, what do you need? Page 4, a Dungeon Master, check. Players, check. This book, duh, check. What the heck is this next thing? Learn by watching? I don't know if you can read that. I'll put a photo. A great way to learn the basics of D&D is to watch people play it. The internet offers videos of D&D play. Okay, that is sort of ringing a bell. The guy at the store did say something about a new web series. Penny Arcade, I think, was the name of the website. That could be a fun way to learn, but it does just seem weird to me to watch other people play D&D. Dice, that's like the one other thing you need. We all just shared a set that my DM had, but there are a bunch of weird dice, so I don't know if we'll see that. I want to see the rules, playing the game, and whoa, I'm immediately distracted by this crazy art in here. Look at that dragon. Whoa. This looks perfect. It says, here's a glimpse at what it looks like. And it's kind of doing a scenario of playing D&D. So, Jared, as the Dungeon Master, says, after your long journey, Castle Ravenloft towers before you, crumbling towers of stone. A lowered drawbridge spans the chasm, its chains creaking in the wind. Man, no offense, Dan, but Jared here is a pretty good narrator. Stone gargoyles stare down at you from high walls, and a pale light spills into the courtyard from the open castle doors. And then one of the players here says, I examine the gargoyles. I have a feeling they're not just statues. Bingo. Okay, that's a random pro tip for Dungeons & Dragons. Every statue is important, or a monster, or both. Okay, always check statues. And then it looks like the GM, Jared, has them make an intelligence check to look at the statues, and that's kind of where this one ends. But that is literally like the entire game of Dungeons & Dragons. Your own story, right? Like you can kind of make it however you want, but it mostly takes place in your heads. You don't have to dress up, you don't have to do funny voices. It is fun to do that, I guess. This page has like the main rule. D20 tests, they call them. I know you can't really read this, but it's basically like, roll 1d20, add a skill, and then your Dungeon Master tells you if you rolled high enough. Okay, and this is also really important here in the picture, which you can totally see, a natural 20. Oh, and this dwarf's fighting a gelatinous cube, and he's really hacking it up because when you roll a critical, that is an epic win, and you get to like decide what happened and kind of explain how you beat whatever that scenario is. And then the opposite of that is obviously the worst thing that can happen. That's a natural 1, and oh my gosh, it looks like this person is falling like right into his spike pit. That DM is super mean. Sometimes.
And our next sponsor is Hit Play Pulse, a new application for immersive fantasy music and sound effects literally at your fingertips. Select a song for adventure, for battle, for carousing at the tavern, and with just a tap, you're brawling at the tavern. How about that? Other tracks have moods for daytime and night or more dangerous stages of battle. Then tap a sound effect when you cast a spell or land an attack to instantly level up your description as a player or game master. Hit Play Pulse was handmade by composers and filmmakers who love tabletop games and consumer rights advocacy. So it's free to download with plenty of content to start a campaign, or users can purchase themed collections of new music or effects, or subscribe for all access, but your subscription payments work toward purchases. And all purchased music tracks can be downloaded off the app so you actually own them. If you like the sound of that, be sure to check out Hit Play Pulse on Kickstarter through my link below so they know who sent you.
Hey, Squeaks. Hey. Do you like the new camera? Oh, wow, no, she does not like the new camera. Okay. I dropped the camera. I think we're so good. We are still at like the very beginning of this massive book. Can you call it a handbook when it barely fits in one hand? I'll be here all week. Oh, this is important actually. Advantage, disadvantage is very easy too. You roll 2 dice and use the higher one. We called this the high ground rule because it's when you have an advantage. You know what that means. You know what that means. Yeah, that was pretty simple. Exploration next here. What does that even mean? Light? I think every character could just see in the dark, so that's kind of weird. Whoa! They actually... Alright, you gotta be able to see that, right? They show someone, like, Skyping in to play D&D. Imagine if, like, everyone in your group was just Skyping in to the same game, like to play from home. I guess if every movie these days is correct and there's a zombie apocalypse, that's how we'd all have to play. This is huge. Combat. Yeah, this could be most of the book. Well, it looks like a lot of it's character stuff, but this is when you actually play in turns. Initiative order, though. You don't necessarily just go around. Sometimes we do that because it's easier, but this is when you're using all your character abilities, like your spells, and, there's rules for how much you can move, your speed matters. There's rules, for cover. Yeah, taking cover. We would always forget how this works. Man, I need to bookmark that. Oh, and actually, it would be cool if this book had, like, a couple ribbons. It's huge, right? Probably the next version, they'll do that, I guess. I don't know. Hit points, you know how that works. That's just like from video games. Here's what we'll do. Comment if you think D&D combat rules should get their own review video like this, but definitely with more structure, like a real tutorial. Because that's what people mostly use this website for, besides like college humor comedy skits or whatever. So let's just skim the character creation rules, because that seems like most of the player's handbook. I should have predicted that. And yeah, here are the character classes, and look at this one. You know what I'm talking about. Fired Malazar, the barbarian. We had one of these in the party. He was half giant, but also like dragon-blooded. Yeah, he also had a huge axe, so maybe every barbarian just gets an axe. A bard? I don't think we had, we didn't have any of these. And cleric. This came from D&D, I guess, like the healers, but we didn't actually have any of those. Yeah, the closest we got right there was a druid. This was pretty much my character, getting animal spirits, and he had like magical tattoos. That was Brahm. My character also ended up with having the legs of a tiger. So maybe that explains how we were making a lot up. Oh, and we had a couple fighters. We had Quetzalcoatl, the ancient warrior, and X5, who was X5 was a monk. Yes, because he was kind of like a ninja, but he was a golem and could change his form. Paladin. Yeah, after one of the characters died, they made a paladin. I don't want to say that ended the campaign, but it did make things complicated with alignment. Ranger, yes, we had Delphalos, the elven ranger, and his great tree bow, pointed right at the guard's face in the first session. Yeah, and then that kind of became a sort of an inside joke. And all of this stuff, man, all the stuff in between, like subclasses, I don't think we used those. And sorcerer, yeah, of course. Okay, I was thinking how many are left, but we didn't even see wizard yet. Okay, well this video is definitely too long already. I'm going to have to cut it down. But in another one, part 2, it would be fun to read about one of the classes. Maybe we do like a full breakdown of a class, or just, honestly, I would love to just talk about dwarves and hobbits and elves and stuff in another video. Oh, and the game store did have other D&D books. Well, I guess they weren't D&D. It was like other games. Dagger Dark. So leave a comment below if you know what that is or another game that we can make a video about. And and rate 5 stars, and I guess subscribe if you want to see another part 2 or whatever. Keep building. Bye.